This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good night, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for February 15, 2023. And in the news tonight, a man murdered in Clarendon. A 22-year-old man was gunned down in Sangenetti, Clarendon on Tuesday night. He has been identified as Kurt Douglas of a White Shop District address in Sangenetti. It is reported that about 11:45 p.m., Douglas was walking along Cohen Street with a friend when they were attacked by a gunman who shot him several times. The police were called to the scene. Douglas was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. His friend escaped unhurt, the police say. Douglas is one of two people killed in the parish on Tuesday. Fruit vendor Keith McIntosh was gunned down in Maypen, the parish capital, about 8:30 p.m. A state of public emergency was declared in Clarendon today. Police probe double murder in Manchester. A police probe is underway into the shooting death of a man and a woman who were killed along the Kendall Main Road in Manchester on Wednesday morning. They have been identified as Damien Robinson, 29, otherwise known as Bleachers, from a Mightone address in the parish, and Shamoy Borough, 22, of a Comapen St. Elizabeth address. It is reported that approximately 12:15 a.m., the two were traveling in a gray Toyota Mark X motor car with one other woman when they were attacked. The police say residents heard loud explosions and alerted them. The two were subsequently found suffering from gunshot wounds. They were taken to hospital, where Robinson was pronounced dead on arrival, and Deborah succumbed to her injuries while undergoing treatment. The other woman escaped unharmed. Woman found dead in car in St. James identified. The Mount Salem police in St. James have identified the woman who was discovered with multiple gunshot wounds inside a motor car in Westgate Hills in the parish on Tuesday as 47-year-old craft vendor Aretha Clark. Residents living in the upscale community alerted the police after they discovered Clark's body inside the vehicle about 5 p.m. The police went to the scene and discovered that Clark had what appeared to be multiple gunshot wounds to her upper body. The scene was processed and the body removed to the morgue for post-mortem. Clark is reportedly from Hendon in Norwood, St. James. Westmoreland truck driver dead following gun attack on church compound. The White House police in Westmoreland are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of a truck driver who was attacked while parking on a church compound in Gordon District in the parish on Tuesday afternoon. He has been identified as 39-year-old Ardell Stumon of Gordon Town District. It is reported that about 5:30 p.m., someone who resides in close proximity to the White House Church of God of Prophecy drove his white Isuzu motor truck onto the church compound and was in the process of parking when a blue Toyota Axio motor car drove up. A man reportedly jumped from the motor car and fired several shots at someone who managed to run into his own yard but was chased and shot multiple times. Someone died on the spot while the gunman escaped in the waiting motor car. They are not car thieves. Cops launch a probe of men chopped and beaten in St. Bess. The St. Elizabeth police have launched a probe after two men, who residents believe to be car thieves, were chopped and beaten in Newmarket in the parish. Pictures and videos of the incident, which occurred over the weekend, have gone viral on social media. In the videos, the residents accused the men of being car thieves, chopped, tied and beat them, and then set their car on fire. The men were rescued by police. The men were seen with chop wounds in the video. One had his hand broken and a rope tied around his neck. The other man's foot appeared to be broken as he could not stand. They were placed in the back of a police service vehicle and taken to hospital. But police investigations have discovered that the men who lived in a nearby district were in fact not car thieves. The police said the men were driving through the community when they got a flat tire and sought help. The police said the car the men were driving was not stolen. As a result, the police have launched a probe into the injury of the two men with the aim of arresting the attackers. The condition of the injured men have not yet been ascertained. Corruption prosecutor to probe Holness conflict of interest allegation. The Integrity Commission has referred a report implicating Prime Minister Andrew Holness in an alleged conflict of interest to the Director of Corruption Prosecution after it concluded that he may have influenced the awarding of millions of dollars in government contracts to the company of a business associate. The recommendation was made in a 107-page report which contains details of an investigation into the award of government contracts to Westcon Construction Limited between 2006 and 2009. The report said the company's directors, Robert Garvin and Donovan Simpson, are known to Holness for more than 20 years. Contracts were awarded through the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information when Holness served as Portfolio Minister, the Social Development Commission, and the National Works Agency. The report said 10 contracts were awarded to Westcon Construction through the MOEYI, totaling $21.8 million. 5 were reported to the Office of the Contractor General by way of the MOEYI's quarterly contract award report for the period. The report said that Garvin is personally known to Holness and had been employed both in his St. Andrew West Central constituency and his personal business. Garvin was also a director in the Positive Jamaica Foundation Limited, where Holness remains a director. Garvin, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark, and Warren Vernon were noted as seized directors as at November 1, 2016. Both Holness and Garvin were also listed as directors of the company, Sunshine Mobile Company, for which the core business activity was the provision of transportation consultancy. Garvin was also listed as a ceased director as at November 1, 2016 in the company West Central St. Andrew Trust, for which Holness was listed as a director. Both Garvin and Juliet Holness, the Member of Parliament for St. Andrew East Rural, and the Prime Minister's wife, were listed as directors of the company Omega Bridge Finance, for which the core business activity recorded was investments. The Prime Minister ceased being a director in that company in September 2007 and is listed as a shareholder together with Garvin. The report said Westcon Construction Limited was recommended in a letter which was dated December 20, 2007 and authorized by Holness for the award of contract in the amount of $1,450,000 for works in St. Andrew West Central relating to the 2007 Christmas work program. The NWA awarded 34 contracts to the company, totaling $33.7 million. The report said 26 fell within the value threshold, which required the NWA to submit particulars of the contracts to the then Contractor General by way of its OCA reports. Only 6 were reported. 2 contracts were awarded through the SDC to Westcon, totaling $370,000 and $1.4 million. Both were reported to the OCG, but there was no evidence of the SDC utilizing formal tender procedures for the procurement, the report said. In relation to the contract that was awarded by the SDC to Westcon Construction, Holness wrote to the SDC in a letter dated September 23, 2009, and advised that Garvin was employed as the project manager under the Constituency Development Fund in St. Andrew West Central. Subsequent invoices were provided to the SDC requiring that payment be made to Garvin in care of Westcon Construction Limited. The matter concerning the potential conflict of interest which arose in relation to the recommendation, which was made by the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, is being referred to the Director of Corruption Prosecution for consideration with respect to breaches of the Contractor General Act, the Public Sector Procurement Regulations 2008, the Corruption Prevention Act, and/or any other applicable law, the report said. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.